Hello everyone, we hope you are having a great time so far. I'm happy to announce our next panel, How to Bolster Your Business with Prop Trading Accounts. This panel will be moderated by our lovely Daniela Egli, Cyprus CEO and Group COO Skilling. Welcome Daniela, the podium is yours.
Thank you. Thank you everyone, and welcome. Today we will be discussing about prop trading firms, which have been gaining a lot of momentum in the last few years. And our speakers will be able to provide us some valuable insights into how these firms operate. I would like to start first by asking our panelists to introduce themselves in a few words. Tom?
Yes, hello, my name is Thomas Heyden. I'm located in Liechtenstein and I'm originally from Frankfurt. So I'm in the brokerage business since the mid-90s, and I run my own company, which was a regulated German company by the BaFin during the year 2000. And we had several funds, some mutual funds, some hedge funds. And I did also a lot of hedging business for commercial companies like industry, like Liebherr or something for commodity hedging. So that's pretty much about me. So thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Otakar?
Hello, my name is Otakar. I'm one of the FTMO founders. First of all, thank you for the invitation and having me here. Basically, we founded FTMO in 2014. It has been a ride since then, and I believe we will discuss more in the discussions.
Thank you. Gil?
Hi, I'm Gil. We're based in Tel Aviv. I'm from the Fivers and TradeThePool. We actually run two proprietary trading platforms, the Fivers and TradeThePool. The TradeThePool we just launched this summer. It is dedicated for the U.S. equities day traders arena, and the Fivers is a far back forex proprietary solution. Starting 2016, in my background, I'm a trader. I used to trade since 2007. And the reason I created that solution is for when I was looking to take my trading skills to the professional level. We didn't really have any opportunity doing it online. With finding some solution, and was creating this platform just to suit this cause.
Thank you, Gil. Samuel?
Yeah, I don't have a super long introduction to myself, but I've been involved in the financial markets since 2015. My company, KB Trading Consultants, we provide pretty much high-level education to both the retail and professional trading space. That's about it.
Thank you. Yes, Tom?
So sorry, I missed. I'm just the CEO for Trading Pit. So because the first is always very nervous, and that's what I am, and therefore, so of course I'm working.
Thanks for breaking
the ice. We started this year with the trading.
Okay, thank you very much. So I think it's good to start with explaining to the audience what a prop trading firm is, and why would traders want to work with a prop trading firm, what kind of benefits, and what kind of traders does such a prop trading firm attract? Gil?
So prop trading, the way that we do it is, I think it's a stolen term. We're not really prop trading, but the audience decided that we are, so this is how we introduce ourselves, but it's not the true definition. I think we were speaking about this before. So we are more comfortable calling ourselves funding traders platforms. And what we actually come to do is to allow traders to take their trading skills into the professional level and doing it in an online manner. Professional traders didn't have this opportunity until we came across with this solution. And if you were a professional, if you were skillful enough, you would have to live around a place where you can commute to work in an office that you can perform your abilities, or you could trade your own. And this is the new proposition that we give people or traders, we give them the opportunity to actually perform and be professional from wherever they are, anywhere in the world. And basically, it's pretty much similar to what the brokerage companies had done in the past 20 years when the internet was introduced and everyone has an internet in their home. So they not need to be professional or exchange members to trade, and they can trade from home. So it's pretty similar to what we've done for being a professional trader and being able to develop a career based on that.
Thank you. Otakar?
I would just add that prop trading business, the main business what we are doing, enabling to traders is that we enabling them to make money from trading without putting their own money at risk. Basically, at FTMO it works like that we have two tests of traders where we are testing them, and if a trader passes those two tests, he or she then becomes FTMO trader, where there is a possibility to earn money from simulated trading. That's the biggest difference from prop trading to proprietary trading, because we are trying to create a new term, prop trading, which is a simulated trading business, rather than proprietary trading, which is a term which has been here for quite a long time. If you are saying about our clients, I believe it is important to mention that prop trading business is for experienced traders only. It is not easy to pass the evaluation test, because it is time demanding. It is not that cheap. It's a premium, expensive service, and it's important for our traders to have time, dedication, and to put effort in the evaluation course. That's for this reason we have a motto in FTMO for serious traders, and that's basically it. And besides the benefits for the trader, besides the creating, making or be the living from, besides the possibility to have a living from trading, we have always thought about, when we were starting in 2014, we thought the majority of traders are not going to pass the evaluation course. Therefore, we wanted to build FTMO in the way that everyone benefits from joining the course. For this reason, we have developed many trading applications, we have performance psychologists, and so on. So even though our traders, the majority of one, do not pass the evaluation test, they should be happy about joining the service.
Great, thank you. Yes, Amal?
Yeah, so, the main distinction, Gil and Otakar have kind of touched on this a little bit. But effectively, if you asked someone even 5 years ago, what is a proprietary trading business? What's a prop firm? Well, it's a firm where if you can prove your skills to them, they will allocate you trading capital in return for a profit share. Now, Gil touched on that most of these firms were physical locations, whether it be in London or wherever. You'd have to travel into an office, pay a desk fee and that kind of thing. You would most likely start on simulation. However, the barriers to entry for prop firms were actually relatively high, and that's good because people would have to apply, they would then interview, they would then provide some form of track record that showed profitability. A firm may let them in without a solid track record as long as they show some potential, and then the firm would have them on simulation, maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months, and then they would be under the wing of people who have been doing this for a long time, professional traders managing 7, plus figures. And they would work their way up. They would start with maybe £10,000. They would have a risk manager literally breathing down their neck who would give them fixed risk limits per day, per month, per week, all that kind of stuff. Today, and by the way, you could still get remote funding, even 10 years ago, some firms still actually offered that. But you see the barriers to entry there are pretty high. The risk, and we'll get on to speaking about this a little bit later on in the panel. Although we can say, you should be a serious trader if you want to set a prop firm challenge, the barriers to entry is an internet connection and some payment method. If you've never traded before, you can go online and just pay for a prop firm challenge. So the barrier to entry really is if you can afford to pay for it. So, I mean, we'll speak about that shortly.
Thank you. Did you want
Yeah,
to
I will
add?
just say that it is absolutely, as Samuel is talking about that. 10 years ago, I was also applying for the job in the proprietary trading firm. I didn't succeed, and yeah, it's all about the barrier to entry. So back then, it was super difficult to get one. It was basically for the MIT, Harvard guys. Nowadays, everyone can apply. Just someone who is enough experience in trading can apply for the evaluation course in FTMO or any other company.
Good point. My understanding is that there are two values that are very important for this business, and that is transparency and trust. Samuel, can you tell us why they are so important and how?
Yeah. So I'm coming at this from a trader's perspective. Over the past few years, especially since we've began providing training resources to the retail trading space, we have seen just how much the retail trading space has hurt retail traders. The way we teach traders how to generate statistical edges. There's a very, very boring, lots of Excel spreadsheets, lots of hours on historical data and that kind of thing. As you can imagine, it's not popular with 90% of retail traders, which is why 90% don't make money. But the retail trading space has been hurt very, very badly over the past even 10 years. You had brokerages and, you know, introducing broker relationships and all that, and there's no problem with them, but it's the abuse of them. We see the guys, you know, sitting on their Lamborghini, flexing their watch and all that kind of stuff, luring, you know, retail traders into the trading space only to blow up accounts. You know, we've seen brokers go under in the past 10 years, and we've seen a lot of shady stuff happen with brokers. We're now seeing some of that in crypto, just getting speed run effectively. But the retail investor naturally has a little bit of a wall up when it comes to finance and when it comes to any kind of product or service in finance, especially if it sounds like it's good, because, well, they've got hurt chasing what sounds good in the past. So trust and transparency are obviously absolutely essential whenever money's on the line.
Thank you. Tom?
Yeah, so I think trust and transparency is something which should be important in each in the industry, of course, and in the society as well. So I think, therefore, it's very, very important that the companies in acting in as prop traders, prop trading companies, they should offer these things. And I believe when I'm looking back to my history, for example, we started, my colleague and I, we started trading, just building up a track record. And then we went, the broker, what was Société Générale, was very excited, and then we run all the cap intro desks via London, Geneva, and so on and so on. And I think this idea of this prop trading is it's a huge idea, because it gives these people a great opportunity, especially if you look back. So if you are a trader, then you have two possibilities. You trade your own money, but the most of them, they want to become asset managers. Of course, if you are successful, you won't like to become an asset manager. But to become an asset manager, you have to fulfill all these regulatory criteria, therefore, and the most of them will fail. And especially if you start to fulfill these criteria, you have also to invest in money, you have to invest in stuff, and so on, and that keeps you away to focusing to trading. And that is something we would like to provide to these clients or to these traders. We would like to provide them a full transparent and trusted business, of course, so they know what we are doing. We help them to build up a track record, and then we see what we can do in the future. And I think it's important for these traders to have a clear structure and a roadmap, just to keep them focusing still on trading.
Great. Yes, Gil?
Well, I want to emphasize something about the trustfulness of the companies, because the reason that we are providing an online solution and it's very accessible to everyone, I think my colleagues will agree that there are many immature traders that coming and buying our challenges and trying to participate in this game. And in the past few years, through the Corona times, our business had exploded, and many companies entered, and I think they're taking advantage of these immature traders, and this is when ethics should step in. And we are enforcing our own ethics, and we're trying to be transparent about it with our clients and with all our publications. But unfortunately, not many companies would do that, and I think it's kind of we have a similar times that I remember from the Wild West era in the forex business before it was highly regulated like today, where companies could do anything they wanted to clients, and they took advantage of clients. And I see some seeds of things like that happening in our niche, and it worries me. And so we're trying to be as much as ethic toward our clients. I think our traders appreciate it, yet we still have and need to face and need to deal with traders that are not very experienced.
Yeah, I mean, just to very quickly touch back on what I was saying about trust. So effectively, in the traditional proprietary trading model, traders received a payout, a profit split effectively from the profits that they generated, whether that be 50% or whatever. And as I mentioned, they would have to work their way up. So when I say to you, for example, I'm running an online, funding firm, and I say to you, yep, you can have a 200 or 500 grand account. You just have to pass this challenge. Okay, how much money am I going to make? Oh, well, 90% or 80% of everything you make. Straight away, the consumer is saying, well, why is it so good? Why is this offering so good? And there starts to be those kind of trust issues. And, the consumer has every right to question things and that kind of thing. But, and this is, I'm a big advocate of the online funding model. I've seen my clients benefit massively from it. But when you put on these challenges, for example, as most online prop firms do, there's like time restrictions and that kind of thing. You have to pass it in 30 days or you have to pass it in 60 days or whatever. Some of the wiser retail clients, or ones who are perhaps a bit more skeptical would be the right word, start to say, is there a conflict of interest here? Does this firm want me to pass this challenge? Because I can tell you, one of the best students I have, he's up 80% over the past 16 months. 80%. Very, very minimal drawdowns too. But he's only managed to pass one of these online assessments, despite setting them every single month. Now, a traditional prop firm 10 years ago would have snapped him up because he's up 80% with very minimal drawdowns over the past 16 months, but he's unable to pass these funding assessments. So he has actually said to me, well, I feel like these firms don't want me to pass, because why is it so why is there time restrictions and that kind of thing? A profitable trader is not someone who can make money over 2 months. You could take any 2-month sample of my trading performance and think I'm a losing trader. Because the fact is, some of the best traders I've ever seen make 80% of their P&L in 3 months of the year. That's a fact. If any of you have trading experience, I'm sure you all do, look at your equity curve, you'll be able to tell me the exact same story. So being able to tell the retail consumer, yes, we pay out winning traders, is not going to be enough to earn trust in the coming years. You need to be showing the retail consumer that you want them to trade well and you want them to pass the challenges. And that's why I'm not familiar with the products or the services that everyone offers here. But that's why funding firms that are offering challenges that have no time restrictions on it are becoming increasingly more popular, because people say, this firm does not want to constrain me to 30 or 60 days. They're going to give me a year or even infinite amount of time to prove my trading ability, which is much, much more reasonable and certainly gets your foot in the door with that trust with the retail consumer.
Thank you, sir.
I fully understand your point of view, but I would like to give you the angle of the prop trading firm, and maybe it will you will be able to see it in a different way. I totally agree with you that some of the challenges will try to put traders on the losing side, but from the perspective of the proprietary trading fund, we need to limit our own risk as well. And if you see a common behavior of a trader with us, they are coming again and again. And I think it happens also in retail brokers where the traders can sometimes blow their account and then win some other accounts. On the overall expectancy, they can be profitable. It's the same thing. So if you measure everything just by one single challenge, it will be the wrong way to see it. But I totally agree that the success terminology should not be based on a single challenge.
Yeah. You said something interesting there. You said, we shouldn't base the success on one single challenge. So why is that the business model of all these online prop firms, right? To get the account, you have to pass one single challenge. That's exactly the point I was making.
It's just the reason because we need to rig our own risk on that.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I am an advocate of these firms. But that's a critique I could give from my angle, is that time limit does not earn the trust of the retail consumer at all. It also doesn't lend itself to profitable trading because you could have a trader that's been trading for 2 months, pass a challenge, okay, and then never get the payout, blow it straight away as soon as they get the account. And likewise, you can have a trader like the trader I spoke about just a few moments ago, who's a very, very good trader, and over 16 months can only pass one. So, something potentially could change there, and we are already seeing that in the firms that offer these no time restriction challenges. So, yeah.
Thank you for differing opinions. Otakar?
I will just add that it is about transparency, as you are saying, because the evaluation of prop trading companies need to be transparent about their trading rules. In FTMO, we are not forcing anyone to join. They can try the whole FTMO challenge for free in the free trial. There are absolutely the same conditions as in the paid evaluation course. So they will see for themselves if they can pass it. We don't have any sales team, and it is just up to them to see, okay, I can pass it or not. This is not for me, I will go somewhere else. And if I also speak about the trust, in the end, it is all about the payout for the traders. So the trader or our client needs to be sure to select a really reputable prop trading firm which is able to pay 5K payout or 500K payout. So basically transparency in the way of the terms of the evaluation courses and trust in the credibility of the company.
Thank you. In the finance industry, what usually brings more transparency is regulation. So does regulation play a role when it comes to prop trading firms? And when we speak about finance, especially fintech, we also speak about technology. How does technology play a role with prop trading firms? Gil?
Well, I think we're talking about two different pillars that I don't see them collide in the same question, but I can address both. The thing with regulation is something that I think eventually will happen in our industry. It's not yet there. I don't think we're big enough for that. Just being yesterday around the floor, I was talking about my business, and so many providers didn't know what the hell I'm doing. And always being surprised because we're living our business day to day, and we think we have so many people, and we bring so many awareness, and so many new competitors join the game. And yet, when we come to this B2B arena, we people don't recognize our services. And but because we have so many new competition popping up every day, and some of them should be questionable, and because there are so many exaggerated propositions that are thrown in the air, that for me as a business owner and knowing how to manage risk for my own business, I don't really understand how they can promise these things. So it's basically narrowed down to the term that if somebody offer you something that is too exaggerated, probably you are the product. Probably they are looking for something else from you, and that is not being a trader. And I think it's time that we will have some kind of regulation. I don't think we qualify for regulation because the nature of our business, we're just private nostro trading funds looking for good, talented traders to come work for us. That's the nature of the business. I don't think there's a regulation for that. Yet we have a unique approach for retail traders that do consider us as alternative to retail brokers, and they kind of looking forward to receive similar services from us. They want to be paid, they want transparency, they want ethics of service, and unfortunately, in today's environment, not everybody is providing that, and I would be very welcoming if there was some kind of manifest or any regulator that's stepping in. I'll be very welcoming this. In terms of technology, it's very simple for us. I think we are riding the same technology that most the brokerage business is working, and we just need to add our customization to that. It's not always simple, but we manage.
Thank you, Gil. Tom?
When I'm looking back, so I was always in this regulated business, most of my time. So when I came first to the crypto business and also to these FX business, I was totally surprised how many things are possible in this industry without regulation. And therefore, I think that is my experience from the past. The regulator will come in each field of financial industry. This will happen definitely. So, and therefore, I think you have to change your mindset, especially in this industry. Don't see the regulator as a combatant or an enemy or whatever. So it's more a partner, because if he's there, it protects the market and it gives more transparency and trust to the market. And if you fulfill the criteria of the regulator, hey, be happy. Be happy, because you will make it anyways. And therefore, but it's important to understand as a company that regulation is not only something which is effectively has to provide by the CEO or the members of the board. No, this is something in the complete company. You need processes, you need structures, you need all these things in mindset for the stuff. And then when the regulator comes in, what will happen one day? You can sit there and say, welcome, I was waiting for you. So, and therefore, I think this is a huge benefit. It will be for a huge benefit if the regulator will come into this business, because for all the trust and for the technology, to be honest, my colleague is much more in charge than I.
Yeah, I mean, very, very quickly on the point of regulation, very, very difficult to regulate, because in reality, what the retail consumer is paying for is very, very similar to having a shot at a competition. If you think about it, they pay, they compete, and if they perform good enough, they win a prize effectively. So they're not actually, it's very difficult to regulate it, because paying for a challenge to trade on a demo account in and of itself is not a financial product, although it's in the financial sector. So I don't know how that regulation would even be categorized, but is it necessary? Yes, it is effectively, because in the past what we saw with retail brokerages was we saw retail brokerages offering huge amounts of money to affiliates to get people into their platform, and we don't currently see that in this space, which is good. I have worked with these funding firms, and to be specific, I work with FTMO, and it's nothing like, I have retail brokerages offer my company ridiculous amounts of money and they get sent packing effectively. funding firms don't offer the same. They're not offering you £1,000 to bring clients in. They're not out on that really aggressive marketing trying to force people through the doors, and that's good. And I think if they were more aggressive with that, I think it would speed up some form of regulation coming. So
Yeah, regulation would definitely level out the playing field for these companies, and probably in the future we will see more of that. If some of our audience are deciding now to start their own prop trading firm after hearing you, what are the do's and don'ts when setting up such a firm? Gil?
The do's and don'ts. Well, the do's is first trying to find a unique proposition for your traders, trying to find something that is not existing. Nowadays, we are in a very saturated market already, and most of the companies offer more of the same. I think many companies are gathered around two main models, which is ours, the instant funding, and FTMO's challenge. And I would like to see more companies coming with some innovation, new type of evaluation, new type of systems that they can offer to traders. We try to innovate ourselves all of the time. And so that would be on the do's. On the don'ts, I think the thing that worries me when I see new companies is that their offers are not making sense. And traders, they are not digging enough into the proposition to learn what will happen as a consequence of what they're choosing. And I think this will be the something that I would worry any company that it shouldn't do.
Tom?
So I think we missed Otakar as well. So, but first of all, it's me. Okay. So when I'm remembering when we started the business in Liechtenstein, I had a huge discussion with the accountant because of the tax authority, and she asked me, "So what are you doing there exactly? Because you mentioned you are not under the FMA regulator." And then we came out to the situation that's pretty much something with educational what we are doing. And I think this is really what will help to explain. And I think this is something what the people have to keep in mind. I think you have to be more and more educational. And I had last evening an excellent dinner with a smart lady. And she told me, so you have to keep in mind to be prepare more in this educational stuff. Yeah, and I think this is this could become more and more true. So because I think, yeah, these are fields which is quite open in the market. And about the don'ts, to be honest, maybe next year have more experience with this.
Thank you. Otakar?
I would just say it's a difficult question because we are probably the oldest prop trading firm, and it's funny to say that everyone knows challenge, and it was our idea to call it a challenge. So from the do's, I would say it's having a company is 100% of everything. It is not just about customer support; it is about technology, which was discussed in the previous question. But it is also about motivated and happy employees, company culture, and so on. So I don't necessarily think that a new company needs to be innovative because they just need to be good in what they are doing. See how many we have bakeries, pizza shops, and so on. Just if you don't have innovative idea, just do it. Do it in a good way, and you will find your clients. So I don't think this is necessary a big block in the stepping into the business. But nowadays, newcomers they have it much easier than we have. 8-9 years ago, you have now technological providers which will provide you with the technology which we didn't have before. So that's easier now. But the newcomers, they have the big problem. That's us, because we are already here and we are actually not. We are still innovating. We are trying to be bigger, better, stronger every day. So the thing is, it's easier to enter the market, but there are already other companies.
Okay, so like you said, there's a lot of companies that come every month. They're being launched, and they compete. But on what? And what do they need to do in order to stay in the game for a long term? Gil?
Well, yeah, many companies coming every day, and we're surprised to count them every day. But many of them come and many of them go, and it's sad to see that they're not lasting. I think in my interest as being part of this industry is that to see strong companies that developing an industry that share common ethics, and we're not seeing this much. Every now and then we have a new rock star in the business, and I congratulate this, and I'm very happy for that.
Thank you, Samuel.
There are companies in this space who have been operating for a long time, offering online funding, and not in the same kind of sense, in the sense that they are, in the traditional sense, giving actual allocated capital, live funds and all that kind of thing. And they're struggling because their offering cannot compete. It can't be attractive enough. A couple of years ago, I started a traditional style proprietary trading firm myself. And I had a team of 12 hand-selected guys, interviewed, assessed, could prove trading profitability or at least potential. And it's funny because all of them preferred to go for FTMO instead, because I can say, well, look, I'll start you on sim for 3 months. And they thought, that sounds great. And then we'll move you up to 10K. And after 3 months, if you're, break even or positive, we'll review your results. If there's potential there, we'll double your account. And in 2 years' time, you'll potentially have $100,000 trading account. But then they say, but I can go onto this website and pay £300 or whatever it is, £600, and I can set this assessment. And if I pass it, then I'll get to do this. And I'm saying to them, look, you'll get 50% of all your profits. They're saying, but these online firms are offering 80% of your profits. So the traditional proprietary trading model, where you're actually getting live funds, someone else's live funds, invested capital, is dying out because it can't stay attractive enough. And that's a shame, because I think that is, I think that's a really nice way to go. And there are still firms doing that, and they're struggling because of the online funding firms, as we kind of phrased it earlier.
Thank you, Sam. Tom?
Yeah, so I think it pretty much depends what you can offer the traders in the long run. So I don't want to compare with other companies, but I think it's we try to offer something like getting more structured products and so on, because as I mentioned, the most of these people in the long run, they want to become kind of an asset manager. Yeah, of course. So, and what is definitely will not happen, any kind of institutional investors will not pay to one of our traders 50 or 80% of the profit. This will never happen. But the interesting thing is that you become more and more, let's say, professional in this field, and you can make up your name, and you get more assets. You could raise up more assets, and I think this is important to provide these, and also to the people who failed, to the trader who failed. There might be other services potentially from our side we can offer to them, and therefore I think there are plenty ways to do, and therefore I think it must be you need a good strategy for all of them. I think that's important.
Thank you, Tom. Otakar?
I would just add that, as Samuel was saying, that some of his employees, maybe if I can say, they moved to FTMO, and there is just no space for the real proprietary trading anymore. And I just disagree, because I have few friends in Chicago. They are working for large proprietary trading firms, but they are just doing an absolutely different business, not trading on CTrader, MetaTrader, or on any other platform, but they are programming super high frequency trading, market making strategies. It's a different business, but there is still room for proprietary trading business, but in a completely different way than we are doing.
I just want to add something to what Thomas had mentioned. we're talking about the financial aspect of what we do, but I think we need to add the work frame environment that we provide. Many traders, and especially our type of traders, that because we were speaking that before, because they have the accessibility to try out our funding services. Many of them are not very well experienced. And so they need to acquire all these skills that will make them professional or more experienced traders or more consistent traders. And while you give them a work frame where you impose on them professional discipline, with risk management, with enforcing them to think about their trades, enforcing them to take responsibility. And this is where it comes to the point where we limit the risk that we want to them. And I have an interesting fact about this. When we measure, we have several programs with different risk measures. And we realize at one point, and it's steady and very clear, that the more restrictive programs that we have, the more success and consistency we get from our traders. And this teaches us loud and clear that the more you enforce discipline and the more you give a work frame environment for these traders, they will last longer. And people evidence and give us the feedback that we have made them better traders because we enforce them to be more disciplined. So I think creating an environment that is supportive and utilizing professional manners and trying to simulate this in an online environment, that is one big key point that we're doing, and it's very successful in our opinion.
Thank you, Gil. It makes sense that with the restricted trading that the traders have to abide by, you kind of help them with their psychology, I guess. Otherwise, if they're on their own.
Psychology, risk management, you name it. So many more aspects that people don't consider.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we ran out of time, so maybe someone can speak to us about how do we see the future for this business. Otakar?
I believe we have discussed many times here newcomers as they are entering the market. I believe that it will stop sooner or later, and few brands will just operate 70% of the market, and then the rest will be operated by tens of other businesses, as it is in any other field. So I believe this is something what we will see in the year or two.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I hope everyone took some good ideas about prop trading firms, and see you next time.
Thank you.